Alright, I'm not playing around anymore. We're doing it this time. Same tip about... Oh, that's a great start. We'll just start fumbling words right out the door. But I had not planned for this series to get into the double digits. So we're crossing our fingers for this one. We found a good amount of debris from a brutal exchange between several ships. And we have the option of investigating the battlefield. It's our first jump, we might as well take the risk. And that is not a bad payoff. I've used a shield overcharger drone before, and it was actually a spectacular failure. But what it does is, as long as it's active, it periodically gives you one layer of those Zoltan shields, which are difficult to punch through. So here we have our first enemy. Actually, I'm going to put the first missile in their helm to cut their evasion, and the second missile in their weapons to cut that off. I was going to say hopefully they would charge this for several shots before firing it, giving us time to disable their weapons. But that is not what they did. And they are ready to surrender. That is not a very good payoff, but it will save us 2 missiles by accepting their offer. I'm gonna hold out, because it's actually kind of difficult to get a good amount of scrap in the first sector. And it would be nice to be able to upgrade either our shields or find some new weapon before we head onward. Well, we got 2 missiles, so that completely made up for itself. And I'll check out one more node before we hit that distress beacon. Pay your toll, no thank you. I'd rather kill your face. It's a single shot laser. Enough to knock out our shields and then hit us with that fish beam. And I would prefer if that didn't happen, which it shouldn't now. And assuming we don't miss, this next missile ends this fight. Oh, the suspense. And there we go. And another mediocre payoff. This is Sector 1 after all. So here we have a refugee ship drifting in space. I think it's still worth the risk of boarding, even though we could lose someone. And we didn't lose someone. Instead we got plenty more missiles. That is not a bad thing. No major hiccups so far this run, but no major boons for me to squander either. And this is one of the reasons I had not intended for this series to get into double digits, because we're pretty much hitting the same scenarios over and over. Whoop. It's going to take 2 missiles anyway, might as well guarantee the second shot will hit. But yes, most of these fights are essentially the same fight over and over, and there's only so much you can say about them. And I don't want to give the impression I'm trying to drag this on. So we can update or update. I think that's the second time I've said update instead of upgrade our shields at this point, but we're going to wait because there's a store right there. You never know what they'll have. So let's attack some pirates. might be another run-of-the-mill fight here, except that's probably going to hit us. Well, it didn't hit a system, so 1 damage we can cope with that. Now here I could fire 2 more hull missiles and hope for the best. Or fire 3 missiles and have a higher probability of taking them out. I think I'm going to use the extra missile. Because if we run out of missiles and still haven't found a better weapon than missiles at that point, we're kind of screwed anyway. And we're racking up a decent amount of scrap for this sector. That is a good thing so far. Let's see what's for sale. Drones. Could be nice. Especially since we have that shield drone. Crew teleporter is also nice because we've got this rock crew. We've got Olafsson on bass. Hutt's on drums. And Zaz is our lead singer. It's a little music genre humor for you there. You're welcome. But I don't see anything spectacular here, and I'm trying to decide if the crew teleporter is worth foregoing an upgrade to shields. Because shields are a good thing to have. Well, defense in general is a good thing to have if you're doing a lot of boarding. And drones would give us quite a bit of defense as well. Alright, well, as I mentioned, I've used one of these shield drones before because it looked like a really nice thing to have, and it did nothing for me. I actually died while I had it active once, so I'm skipping that, and I'm getting the crew teleporter. And I don't know that I necessarily need to upgrade my reactor for it. But I hate having to micromanage power, especially in the middle of a fight. So we're going to have enough power for that. Maybe buy just a bit more fuel. And that should be alright for now. And like artificial fingernails, we press on. Another toll that we will not accept. Well, they're gonna hack something. And it's our engines. Well, hopefully that particular burst of the hacking drone, will wear out long before they actually fire. So they did effectively nothing. And they're already looking to surrender. It will take me 2 more missiles to finish them off, and I think I'd rather have the 4 fuel. Was that the right decision? Probably not. Oh, I did the same thing as last time. I got this, I got the teleporter, and didn't make use of it. I have to try and remind myself it exists. Pirates! I don't care for bribes. Oh, well, they're going to come to us, so that makes that choice a little easier. Perhaps after I take that guy out, I will have them board. Or perhaps not. It depends on how much damage this does to their ship. That's a pretty good bribe. We can certainly use the missiles. It's not a bad amount of scrap, and we can sell the drone. Alright. You guys win. And we shall continue. Well, surprisingly enough, we found more pirates. And they're hacking our engines. Alright, this might be a good opportunity to board. Try and take out the weapons in their cloning bay. And get ready to send these guys over. Although there's a Manus ship. And Manuses do extra combat damage. Let's see if this does any serious damage. Well, that wasn't turned on anyway. Ooh, that's the ticket. I'll wait until that missile hits. I'll wait until that missile misses. And then I'll send them over to occupy the room and prevent it from being repaired. That's the stuff. Oh, that's a problem. They're gonna need that if they want to come home. Okay, good. Weapons are out, so our lack of evasion does not matter. They have a rock crew and a Zoltan, which is strange. He's gonna hurt a bit when he explodes. But we're okay, and I think we've got this in the bag. Oh, it might take it a minute to realize that they can't be revived through their cloning bay. So alright, that's still a pretty meager payout considering we boarded them, but fuel is always nice. And away we go once again. Oh, you know, I keep messing that up. There was another beacon I could have visited on the way here. Well, we've got time, we can look for him, and we didn't find him. But it's Sector 1, so it's not a huge problem. And I do believe the pirate-controlled sectors do contain that stasis pod. So it's time to start searching. I know we'll hit up this store in a moment. We've got some pirates. Going to vent some things. Might give us a corridor here. Just in case a fire starts, because that is common in these parts. These parts being flare parts? I don't know what I'm trying to say anymore. Actually, I'm going to save that whole missile. Let's just take out their weapons. And then go sneak on the ship. Head on over there. And as long as there's not a breach, that's a pretty safe tactic with rockmen. Because they don't take damage from fire. So they can punch people all they want in a flaming room. Yep. Didn't vent enough. Hopefully that goes out before our engines completely explode, because that will cause some hull damage. Well, we killed everyone, so that's a plus. And we're mostly okay. So now we can upgrade our shields, which is good. But we're also going to have to repair our engines and heal these guys. But I don't want to do that here at a solar flare danger place. Thankfully we've got a store right here we can jump to. So let's see what they've got up for grabs. We could buy some more crew members. Mantis is always nice because of that 1.5 times damage. If we're going to be doing boarding, Pegasus missile is nice because it shoots twice, but I would like to not replace my missiles with a different type of missiles. Hull beam is good, but only if you can take out their shields. And a chain laser is actually quite nice. But shields are also very nice. You know? We're not in dire straits as it is. It's a tough call. Well, you know, I can afford to get the chain laser. In fact, yeah. I don't even have to interrupt my... What am I trying to say? I don't even have to impair my ability to take out shields with the Artemis missile, which is all I've been doing. I've still got my boarding crew. And we've got the chain laser ready for situations where we need that. I think that's good. And I think we're ready to head on out. Have I made a huge mistake? Am I screwing this up royally? Probably. But we shall see. Ooh. This one's a tough call. I think I'm going to... take out their... No. Going to take a pot shot at their weapons with that. Send these two over. And as soon as they start damaging someone, I'm going to fire a missile into their med bay. Deal some extra damage to their crew. It's going to need another shot. And then move my guys into their med bay to prevent them from repairing it. Good, we didn't get hit by their mini beam there. There go those guys. Good, we damaged their weapons. That guy came back. Or is that a third guy? I think it's the same guy. No, it must be a third guy. They must have one of them either at the helm or repairing their weapons. Nope. I apparently just can't monitor health very well. That is the end of that ship. So I can heal these guys up and then skedaddle. And the search continues. Well, would have been nice to have better shields before a fight like this. Anything we can do to help take these guys out faster is really going to put their entire ship at risk of being destroyed by asteroids, which makes it kind of dangerous to send boarders over. Especially since we can't know everything that's being powered by their drone room. It could include... Yeah, I don't think I'm going to risk it. $13 scrap is pretty measly. So I think we're gonna finish them off. But yes, they could have an anti-personnel drone in addition to their anti-drone drone. And they could be destroyed by an asteroid at any moment, so it's not worth boarding. 12.5 scrap. It's not a big improvement, but it's an improvement. Another store... I don't know that it's worth visiting at the moment. We have plenty of fuel, we're not very damaged. We don't have terrible weapons. And in a moment we can upgrade our shields. So I think we're good. continue on. And maybe take out another crew here. Hopefully not get wasted by this laser. I think that's the 3-shot laser, but that could still do a number on us. Yeah, that was less than ideal. You might as well fix that, since you're providing no dodge bonus. I might as well finish off their weapons there. No danger of actually destroying their ship with my crew on board. Down goes their human. The NG is no threat. That should be a decent payoff for us. 30 scrap. Alright, we rescued someone as well. Some missiles, none too shabby. I think we can take these guys back. Before we do some repairs, we can upgrade our shields. We can't quite upgrade our teleporter because we don't have the power. Is it worth upgrading a subsystem, though? I think it is worth upgrading our doors. Or our sensors. I think I'm going to upgrade our sensors, in fact. Like I was saying about the defense, or the anti-personnel drones. It would be a shame to jump over onto a ship where they've got drones waiting to murder all of our crew. So, yes, in the interest of avoiding that, I'm going to upgrade our sensors. Was that a waste? Was that money poorly spent? Quite likely. But only time will tell. Oh, hello. And there is our stasis pod. Alright. So that's part 1 of this little jam all set. Now we just need to see it through. And it would be silly of us to sacrifice crew. An upshot to fighting slavers is they might surrender and offer us another crew member, which would be fantastic. Well, that sucks for Olafsson. Everyone else get out of there. Ugh. Well, we took out their missile weapon, just a little too late for it to be useful. Is it worth spending a missile to completely take out their weapons and hurt their captain? I think it is. Punch, 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 punch. Punch, punch, punch. Hey! No, you don't. Zaz is in trouble because of that Mantis guy. Aha, but their guy went to go toe-to-toe with Hoots. So we are good. Alright. Happy times. Well, those times might have been a little happier if they offered us a crew member. Because we could use a few more hands. Let's see, this place is on fire. We'll send our rock crew, because that's free money. Oh, we got a lifeform scanner. Well, that takes the location of any lifeforms even when sensors don't function, so I kind of wasted my money on that sensor upgrade. Who didn't see that coming? Let's see, we're about 150 scrap from upgrading our shields again. We could upgrade our engines right now, and I do want to upgrade the teleporter. We're about 7 scrap from upgrading our weapons if we want to do that as well. It's just that one little level of cooldown on more than one occasion has been the difference between life and death for my boarders before. Ooh! I could shield this ship in an asteroid field with ours and not take damage and get free stuff. But I'm going to use the teleporter option because that often gets us a crew member. Fantastic. And it's a mantis to boot. Alright, so I think my new boarding team is going to be Zaz and Kriz, the Z team. That we will still have extra evasion on the remaining crew. Oh dear, I've done that again. I just assumed that he was these coded when Kana was assumed. I assumed those would connect. But they do not, so I have to waste a jump backtracking. At least I didn't have to go back through the revels. I should really check that more often. Refueling outpost. He's got a missile weapon. I'm not keen on that. We've got quite a bit of ammo. He has a cloaking device. Well, that's swell. So this is maybe not the best decision. But we'll still get some free fuel out of this, and hopefully not take too much damage. Artemis, take out his ability to dodge. Chain laser, assuming the Artemis doesn't miss, take out his ability to attack us. And then we'll have to start working on that cloaking device, because that is a pain. I almost should have fired on that first, so that that wouldn't happen. But hopefully his weapon should stay out of commission for the rest of the fight. I'm fairly certain with the chain laser's ability to start firing faster every time, and the fact it only takes 2 more shots to kill him, and the fact that his cloaking device is now out of commission, that this fight should be over. Bing bong. And that is that. And interesting that the refueling outpost gave us everything but fuel. But no matter. Onward we go. Well, quite a pair of options we've got, but I'm going to go with this one because we need to go to either Zoltan or NG territory next. And I want to have the most options of green civilian territories to go to. I almost considered... Oh wait, no. I did upgrade my sensors. Gderp. Although these Nebula spots aren't going to slow down the rebel fleet as much as I'd like. At least we can see everything that's going on over there. See, isn't that life form sensor doing us a great deal of good at the moment? Isn't it nice to see all of these life forms? Alright, so I'm going to take a moment to think here. Chain laser shoots twice. It would be nice to take out the shield so that it could get 2 hits every time it fires. But I don't think that's going to happen. So we're going to have to start by firing at their missiles. You know, this beam drone can't get through any shields at all, so I'm going to take off a layer of shields. Give us our full 20% evasion. And in a moment when our oxygen starts to get low, I'll peel some of that off to keep us from suffocating. I think that's a reasonable way to do things. And waiting for Chris to repair that is going to be pulling teeth, but thankfully it doesn't really matter yet. And we missed! At least our next attempt will come quicker. Well, that's fine and dandy like sour candy. Might as well use that extra power we can't use anywhere else to keep our oxygen going. Ugh. Yes, yes. Lovely, lovely. Alright. So that's down anyway. I'm gonna keep firing on that and keep it down. Red. Redder is better. Next I'm going to try and get the shields down so that I can actually hit things more than once per shot. I'll take that for the moment. Take an opportunity to poke at their helm. Alright, so now we don't have to worry about missing either. No weapon we hadn't seen emerges. But I think it's a single shot laser. Doesn't really matter what I hit at this point though, because the next hit destroys them. These two might as well go clean themselves up. And a decent amount of scrap, which we're going to need. So let's poke about the store. Drones! Defense drone is always nice, especially in the last fight. Cloaking would be nice, can't afford it. Hopefully we could make ourselves afford it. Hacking is okay. Scrap recovery arm is nice. You know what I think I'm going to do? I'm going to sell this combat drone. Sell our rock plating. Even though it's nice to occasionally resist damage. Because it's much more nice to occasionally avoid damage altogether. Maybe take a few repairs. Ding ding, ding ding. Done. I think that's none too shabby for the time being. And we can continue. Pirate ships arrives shortly after us, and it looks like he's being sneaky. Oh, well, that's less than ideal. Oh. By less than ideal, I mean very non-ideal. I think our only concern is this teleporting bomb. It's going to be a while. Let's go ahead and dodge that just in case. Before we have any opportunity to send boarders onto this ship. Okay, at the very least it's just an ion bomb, so it won't cause any hull damage. I don't think we're going to take any damage during this fight. I remembered my Z team, then forgot 3 of my guys have Z in their name. I'm smart. Alright, where do I want to send these guys? That's never going to get through their shields. Hardly matters, they only have 2 people. They're going to go down in a hurry. Miss. And we're taking that guy out pretty quick. He explodes, and then the guy with more health is taking most of the beating. And we're good to go. Hermes missiles. Those do quite a bit of damage, I think. But missiles are not something I'm trying to lean towards. see what awaits us. Oh, he's trying to run away. That's fine. I think it's worth a missile to help try and stop that. Trying to get his weapons as soon as possible. In fact, I know that raises... That made a weird little thing. Oh, that's probably the ship. Yeah, I realized I raised my own chances of being hit, but I also forgot I have a cloaking device. Wait for that next one to fire. Miss, miss, miss. A little hit, miss, miss. Still better than nothing. And we're not going to need you, so we'll prepare for the next jump. It's almost tempting to just make a beeline for the end of each sector at this point. But the next stage of this quest, we need to do a whole lot of jumping around, and we have to find a place that won't have any markings. It won't say distress. It won't be a quest beacon. We just have to luck into it. So we're going to have to be jumping around a lot, which means we're going to run into all kinds of nasty stuff. Let's try and avoid this guy by cloaking. We failed. Got a guy mind controlled. Gonna try and distract him just so he doesn't destroy our shields. They've got all kinds of iron weapons. All less than ideal. No, that needs to hit the shields. What was I trying to say there? We're going to have to do a lot of jumping around in one of the next sectors. So we're going to want I apologize for my inability to multitask. We're going to want to be as prepared for our random encounters as possible. So that means a lot of jumping around now to make sure we have enough scrap to improve our ship to the point where we can take things on. I'm just going to go ahead and take that out. I'm just going to go ahead and try and take that out and fail. Well, go run through there and stop him. Yeah. Mission accomplished. And there is nothing on the station. Well, I'm glad we made this little detour. Calm blue ocean. A pirate who's running. Aha, well these guys are going to board us. So let's just make sure they want to come to one of the rooms we are in. Oh, no you don't. I heard a missile, so I'm going to dodge it. Well, that was silly of me. I only have a 2-shot weapon and can't get through their shields. I suppose it's not that silly of me because I have a boarding team. In fact, it might be silly of me to have a weapon loaded, but no, it is not. Because I need to take out their shields with the missile. so that I can have my oxygen taken out. It's something about the oxygen on this ship. Yeah, I needed to weaken that so that I could damage their clone bay to send my folks into their clone bay and do some murdering. Oh, that's a problem. Oh, I forgot to cloak before that missile. My multitasking is really failing here. In fact, I think it's worth one more missile. Just to keep the rest of us alive. Well, their shields are kaput. You should go somewhere else. The fire might even spread a bit. Well, you two might as well go heal. Since everybody's gonna need it. It's kind of good for Zos, cause hey.
Oh no.
Well, I done goofed. On a previous run with this ship, I'd been using boarding teams to take out opposing crews, and I had an instance where I killed an opposing crew member in a room that was on fire, and I didn't get that achievement. So I mistakenly assumed that it was something you could only do on your own ship and not on an opposing ship. In hindsight, what must have happened is that it was the fire damage that took out the crew member before my crew member could get the killing blow. So, that is pretty much the end of this run, or of this series. I actually did try and continue that run in the hopes I could maybe at least unlock the crystal ship by the end of the run, but I wasn't able to find the next part of the quest, so that is it. If for some reason people actually want to watch me continue to try and unlock the crystal ship, just say so and I can do that, but if not, I think I'm going to call it good and move on to something else. I actually had a few ideas for things I wanted to do. I haven't gotten any of them to actually work properly yet though, but keep at it, and hopefully I should have some interesting things coming down the pike soon, so toodle-oo.